Honestly, you know what? I'm fed up. I'm fed up. I'm absolutely fed up now. Like, stuff the intro today. Stuff the intro today. Let's get straight into the news. The PR for Mason Mount is just out of control now. It is beyond out of control now. Like Matt Law, you know how much I don't like this particular journalist too much because this guy is biased. This guy only seems to protect the English players. This guy, he talks about online trolls. Online trolls. You know what the ironic situation is he's probably one of the biggest online troll out there, and he has the audacity to call out online trolls in regards to Mason Mount. I mean, when are we going to actually sit down and properly talk about the fact that Mason Mount has been poor? God damn it, for a very, very long time. For a very, very long time. Not just in the last few games. He's been poor. Poor. And now we're in a situation where we've got 3 wins in a row, yet every single day the topic is about Mason Mount. And it's this particular brother who also talked about Mason Mount yesterday. He also talked about Mason Mount the day before. All he seems to do now is talk about Mason Mount. I've never seen this much protection, this much support for any other non-English players. In fact, I remember this brother talking about Kai Havertz not that long ago, that he shows zero character. He needs to be sold. Literally, go and find out. Go on Twitter, type Matt Law Kai Havertz. You'll see the article where he proper insults Kai Havertz. He was the one who tried to, tarnish Rudiger's career by blaming him that he was the guy who got rid of Frank Lampard, along with Kovacic, Jorginho, and so on and so forth. This guy he's the one who divides the fan base, because people like him will put out all of this information and a lot of the fan base will buy into it. A lot of the fan base will buy into it. And it's honestly, we need to identify this, because this is a bit of a disease. This is a bit of a cancer. This is what destroys the fan base, not people like you and me who genuinely talk about the situation in a logical manner. It's people like this who show biased support and unnecessary, context, unnecessary stuff in regards to this matter, which creates confusion. Let's have a look at what Matt Law has been talking about. While online trolls continue to target Mount, pointing out Chelsea have won their last 3 games without him, while ignoring the club also did so without Thigao Silva and missing James for 2 of them. Real life fans remain very much behind him. Real life fans, I mean, talk about the insult to people like us just because we don't go to the matches. It's not possible for every single fan to go to the match. It's not cheap. It's hell expensive to travel to London, get a ticket, Stamford Bridge, and watch. And Stamford Bridge's capacity is 40,000, my man. Not everyone can go to the stadium. Chelsea has a worldwide fan base over 16, 17 million. Do you expect every single one of them to go now? What do you mean by real life fans? What an insult. And correct me if I'm wrong, not that long ago when we lost to Southampton at home, match-going fans, weren't they the one booing Graham Potter and Mason Mount as well? Weren't they the ones? What do you mean by real-life fans? When are you actually going to talk about how poor Mason Mount has been for nearly 16 to 18 months? It's mad. It's mad. Look at this. Talking about Thiago Silva and Reece James. Do you know how important Thiago Silva has been over the last, this last 16, 18 months when Mason Mount has been poor? Do you know how important Thiago Silva has been during that time frame? Do you know how important Reece James has been every time he's available? When he's not available, we hurt. We saw last season. Mason Mount was available. Could Mason Mount carry us during that time? And I'm not solely putting it on Mason Mount. I'm just saying, I'm rebutting on this particular comment. Extract from Matt Law's article. Last season, when Reece James and Ben Chilwell were missing through injury, did Mason Mount stand up and carry Chelsea Football Club single-handedly? No. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and blame him for it because it's a team game. The fact of the matter is, last 3 games, we've won without him. That's the fact. Yes, we won without Thigao Silva and Reece James as well. Whoop-de-doo. But why are you coming here and every single day talking about Mason Mount? And now you're having a go at real life, saying real life fans. So what are we? We're not real life fans anymore. Who are real life fans? Who are real life fans? It's mad. He's literally dividing the fan base. Mason Mount has, by all metrics in the last 2 years, been in the top 3 Chelsea players by some considerable distance. It would be an effing disaster if they lost him. Once again, not watching the match, just looking at the stats post-match. This guy, I've never ever seen him talk about any other Chelsea players like this, man. Not even the coloured academy players. I'll even go to that extent. I've never seen him talk about that way about Chalobah or even Reece James or Tammy Abraham or Tomori or Callum Hudson-Odoi. I mean, Mason Mount, the poster boy. People like him are the ones who are bringing hate towards Mason Mount, not people like us. Every day dropping articles. The PR, man. I'm certain. I'm absolutely certain now that these guys must be paid. These guys must be paid to run this show. They're paid to put out all of this stuff. Life will move on without Mason Mount. He's not that crucial for us. I've said it recently. I don't mind him having it as a squad player. If he wants to come off the bench, provide some sort of technical versatility, no problems. He's not going to get a starting position right now. I'm sorry. There is simply no space anymore. Where is he going to play? In the double pivot? He's not good enough. Up front? He's not good enough. There is no spot for him. Unless we change to a midfield 3, maybe then he gets one of the midfield spots. And even then, I don't think it's guaranteed. Life will move on without Mason Mount. He's not Messi for us. He's not Eden Hazard level. Like, people treat Mount as Eden Hazard level. He's not. Let's get that straight through our head. Eden Hazard was an influencer. He would influence matches all by himself. Mason Mount is not of that caliber. He might have had 1 or 2 games where he scored a goal which won us the match, but I don't remember Mason Mount ever on a consistent basis single-handedly grabbed the match by the scruff of its neck and won it for us. He's just not of that level. We need to relax on this brother, man. If he's going to go, let him go. Effing disaster. I don't think so. Contract negotiations between Mount and Chelsea are a stalemate, which has prompted interest from Liverpool, Manchester United, and Manchester City. There is also interest from overseas. Go, sell. If that's the case, do it. I highly doubt Manchester City are in the mix. Highly doubt. You look at the caliber of players Pep Guardiola gets and the caliber of players he has in his squad. You let me know. And once again, this is what I mean. Pushing the bar for Mason Mount up here unnecessarily. Let's be honest. I'm not saying Mason Mount's a bad player. But putting him in this pedestal like he's some sort of a super, super fine player. No, he's not. It's just plain truth. Liverpool interest, that's legit. Manchester United, I've not heard of, but fair enough. He could potentially fit in that particular lineup as well. But Liverpool, by all means, he probably fits there. He probably will do well. Go. Chelsea, sell. If he's not going to... You know what the mad thing is? We've actually provided him a contract extension. We're looking to sign him up. We've got an offer for him. He's the one who's declining it. It's not Chelsea not giving him an offer. It should be noted that the stalemate in the contract talks has not resulted in a standoff between Mason Mount and the club or between him and Potter. The England international has continued to happily fulfill Chelsea marketing requests and played with injuries while the team was going through a slump, such as in the FA Cup defeat to Manchester City. Oh my God. Anything possible to make Mason Mount look good, man. The England international has continued to happily fulfill Chelsea marketing requests and played with injuries while the team was going through a slump. Well, this has changed recently, hasn't it? Apparently, up against Leicester, he was still not fully fit, and Graham Potter didn't want to take the risk. Some are saying he was fully fit. He just was not played. But apparently now he's going to be up for selection for England internationals. So what is it? Is he getting, looked after, or is he getting forced to play? And why is he going to get forced to play? We've got a large enough squad to get through all of these fixtures. That's mad. Chelsea should certainly be aware that before his 25th birthday, and this is the other mad thing. Man Law, he doesn't have any boundaries. He doesn't have any limits. Now, once again, comparison to Frank Lampard. Have some shame. Have some shame. Frank Lampard had played in 223 league games, almost 100 more than Mason Mount's 128 so far, but only scored 8 more goals than his former player currently has. In terms of goals and assists, Lampard was only 3 better than Mount's up-to-date league total of 49. This is ridiculous. Look at the length. Look at the length they're going to make Mason Mount look like he actually belongs in the same level as Frank Lampard. I don't even want to look at these stats. It's not even, I see matches. Eyes. Frank Lampard, Have a look at the way Frank Lampard used to influence game as a leader. He had this aura, this presence about him when he was in the field. Frank Lampard wasn't just about goals and assists, even though he absolutely ripped it apart. Have a look at some of the plays that led to goals and assists. Frank Lampard was defensively as well. Frank Lampard off the ball was so good. His positional awareness, footballing IQ, stuff that you're not going to see in Matrix. Stuff you're not going to see in stats. May God forgive us. Honestly, may God forgive us for comparing Mason Mount with Frank Lampard. But this is the thing. A lot of people will buy into all of this. They'll see this article from Malo, and they'll be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, Mount, yeah, he is similar to Frank Lampard, And then anyone who constructively criticized Mason Mount, those fans will come and abuse them, hurl insults. It's people like Matt Law. He's promoting all of this. It's total madness, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely total madness. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up. At this point, I've got no issues if we sell Mason. And in fact, I actually wouldn't mind. I think it'll be good for the entire squad. I think it'll be good for the entire fan base if he leaves. It's good. It's going to be good for him as well. He doesn't deserve all of this. It's going to be good for him. It's going to be good for the fans. It's going to be good for the club. Time for him to move on. New chapter in life. You've won the Champions League. You've won the Club World Cup, Super Cup. You could have won more, but some of them you were in direct issue of losing those, silverwares for us. Last year's FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Along with a few other players, not just him. But you've done what you've had to do. Thank you for your services. Life goes on. Life goes on. Right? Life goes on. Chelsea Football Club will be just fine. But hopefully, when he leaves, these nonsense articles can stop. from a particular journalist, all he seems to do is come up with biased, one-sided articles for specifically English players, and that too, white English players, not the colored ones. I've seen it. You guys have seen it. This guy, I've never seen him support any other player like this. In fact, he's insulted other players. So much so, he's even gone and claimed that Antonio Rudiger was the direct culprit to get Frank Lampard out. I mean, get out of here, man, Law, man. I've had enough, man. Honestly, I've had enough. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, FIFA Council set to approve the qualifying criteria for enhanced 2025 Club World Cup today. Chelsea and Real Madrid will be guaranteed a place in the 32-team tournament as winners of 2021 and 2022 Champions League, respectively. Fantastic. I mean, apparently, this new revamped competition will happen once every 4 years, which is fine, and it might take place during the off season, during the season when it's off, during June and July. Look, as a fan, to see more games, I love it. But for a player, of course, it's not easy. We need to look after their well-being. If we start having competitions between June and July every 4 years, that's added more games to their fixture for the entire calendar year, on top of all the other matches they play internationally, club wise, and then every 4 years this tournament is going to happen. At least the best part is that it's not going to happen every single year now. It's going to be a proper tournament, and there's going to be a lot of money involved, which is great. So from that perspective, which is fine, and Chelsea are already qualified for the first competition that's going to take place in 2025. Look, I've got no issues with this. I actually like it, and I can't wait to see where it's going to be held. I was in the last one, not the last one that Real Madrid won, the one before that when Chelsea won. It was a fantastic event in Abu Dhabi. Fantastic event. Chelsea will have a guaranteed place in the enhanced 32-team Club World Cup tournament in 2025. Chelsea in line for a payday of at least 25 million that could rise as high as 50 million for taking part in the tournament to be played in June and July 2025. This is fantastic. Fantastic. I like it, man. Let me know what your thoughts are. FIFA have approved a new 32-team Club World Cup format from June, July 2025. 12 teams from Europe involved. UCL winners from 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So it's going to happen every 4 years. So 4 years of Champions League winners. Other 8 teams will be filled by coefficient rankings. Great to see. And this is where Ben Jacobs also said that 2025 FIFA Club World Cup will have 32 teams and be played every 4 years. Chelsea will have a place because UCL winners from 2021, 2022, 2024 will get an automatic spot in the first edition. This will guarantee income of at least 25 million. Fantastic. 25 million off the bat, and then it can raise up to 50 million. Why not? There's talks about the World Cup as well, which I'll cover in my second channel. So do look out for that. Ladies and gentlemen, look, that pretty much wraps us up. There's a whole heap of other news in regards to Victor Osimhen, David Raya, and lots more. We'll cover that in the live stream tomorrow. Do make sure you're there early UK time, roughly around 9:30 a.m. But yeah, let me know what you think about this whole PR of Mason Mount, which seems to be dropping every single day. And Matt Law, man, I'm fed up, man. I'm fed up with this guy, honestly. This guy just boils my blood, man. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Make sure you subscribe to my second channel. Till next time. See ya.